Welcome back into the Island Sports Center. The Robert Morris University men's hockey team set to start the regular season this weekend right here with a pair against Lake Superior State. I'm Matt Gajtka, joined for our weekly sit-down by head coach Derek Schooley. And Coach, let's discuss this past weekend, an exhibition matchup against Ryerson. You said your team got a lot accomplished, but also some things to work on. So looking back on it, how would you sum up that performance?
Well, we got a chance to get everybody in a game. We played everybody. We rolled the lines. We got all three goalies in the mix. We had a little bit of special teams we work on. This was their 7th game. It was our first day of practice, official. So there are always good games to play, but I would much rather have a 1-0 loss than a 10-4 win, because you don't really find out a lot about your team in a 10-4 win. We got a chance to break down video. We saw a lot of good things that our guys did. We had saw some things that we needed to work on, which we put into a practice this week. So I really have zero issues with the game. I loved our intensity. I loved our effort. We didn't score any goals, but I have all the confidence in the world in these guys that we're going to score a lot of goals as the season progresses. So that's not a worry. And got to see a lot of good things, and we showed guys good things and bad things, and really that's what that game was about, and we've got everything out of it that we wanted to.
Now, in terms of practice, some of the fans may not know it's limited until you get into the first week of the season. So you really have that for the first time this year, this week. What are some things that you're focusing on as you get ready for the real season to start?
Well, we were only able to practice 2 hours a week leading up to the game, and really it gave us a total of 8 hours of practice. So this week we got a chance to see some things that we needed to do better, see some things that we hadn't even worked on. We had 2 5-on-3s the other night in the exhibition game, and we hadn't even worked on that. We had worked 15 minutes on power play. We ended up with 8 power plays. So those are things that we got a chance to do a little bit more in depth this week. We got a chance to work on those a little bit more. We also got a chance to continue working on our defensive zone coverage and working on getting pucks in certain areas of the rink, and doing some small stations, working on things that we've got more time to do now, and things that weren't a priority leading into the game. But now, with more time, we've got a chance to work on a lot more of those. And like I said, we got a great amount of video to show our guys, which our guys are probably going to be videoed out by the end of this week. But really, that's what the beginning of the season is all about.
In that exhibition setting, you were able to get all 7 freshmen into the action, and really a nice mix as far as lines go, getting the shifts in for almost everybody on your roster, all the healthy players. Looking back at the freshmen, though, what's the toughest thing for them when they come into D1 hockey out of the junior ranks?
Well, they come in and they're the top players on their team, and if they weren't, they wouldn't be here. So they've got to adjust to different roles. They've got to adjust to different spots they're playing in. They got to adjust to playing with new players. There's not a lot of chemistry that can be developed in 8 hours. So they really got to get accustomed to the pace. And quite honestly, there's some different rules as far as NCAA goes compared to junior hockey. The games are called differently. So they get a chance to see that and adjust to that. And really, like I said, it was good to get all of them in the game. They all got to play a majority amount of in some key situations, and we got to see what they have. And obviously the veterans, it was getting them back into game mode, which was great leading into this game against Lake Superior.
Yeah, coming up this weekend, as I mentioned, at 84 Lumber Arena, Lake Superior State comes in for a pair. You can pick up a magnet schedule Friday night if you come down to the game. Saturday is the schedule poster. But in terms of on the ice, Coach, it's the 2nd straight season in which you open up with Lake Superior State. You were up there in Sault Ste. Marie last season, and this time it's a different club that you're facing in the Lakers. 20 of the 29 players on their roster are underclassmen. New coach in Damon Witten. What do you expect from the Lakers?
Well, it's obviously they're going to play with a lot of energy. You play with a lot of energy when you have a new coach, and the start of the year they're going to be playing for jobs basically, because their coach is in the same boat as us as far as practice time goes. The difference is they got 2 games in last week, and they played 2 non-conference games actually against Michigan Tech. So they've got another game under their belt, but that also took a day of their practice away, because you do have to give a day off after the games. So it's going to be an interesting encounter, because we've only got 1 game to watch them on video. Usually games at the beginning of the year are sloppy especially when you're implementing new systems and a whole new coaching staff. So we just got the video today on Wednesday, and so we're going to be able to start breaking that down and kind of getting into the nuts and bolts of what Lake Superior does. And they've got some very good offensive players returning. Alex Globke was really good against us last year and was on the all-rookie team within the league. He's returning, and they play with a lot of energy. And knowing Damon, knowing the coaches he worked for, he's going to be well prepared. He's going to be ready to put his mark on the program. And 2 freshman goalies, so we've got to see what they've got in them. But I'm excited about this weekend's challenge because they do have some good hockey players. They've got a good coaching staff. They know what they're doing, and we'll see a great weekend of hockey.
Last thing for you, officially, your second decade of Division I play gets underway this weekend. Where can this program go after the huge breakthrough last year? What are your long-term goals for what you've built here?
Well, I mean, I think every team starts off the year wanting to win their conference. I think what we can do is we can be a little bit more consistent within our conference. We have not had a home ice advantage in the first round in our 4 years in Atlantic hockey. We have not, obviously going to the NCAA tournament was a big step, but we need to be a little more consistent day in and day out within the conference, and that starts with our focus. And then you do that, and you get to the playoffs, and you want to do the same things you did last year. You want to have consistency with everything you do. We don't want to be a one-time wonder and a fluke. We want to make sure that we're in the dimension that when you talk Atlantic hockey, teams that are going to challenge for titles every year, that Robert Morris is in that mix. And it starts with consistency. We don't want to have a 2-12-2 be in last place on January 1 start, where then you have to work your way back up. So it comes down to being ready for the start of real games, and that starts this weekend.
Yes, the quest for growth, the quest for a good start begins Friday and Saturday here at 84 Lumber Arena at the RMU Island Sports Center. Thanks, Coach, for the time.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, and we'll see you at the rink this weekend.